Hey everyone, how y'all doing? So it's time to go over the knives I carried for the week, and this is week number 47, which went from Monday, November 27th through Sunday, December 2nd. And yeah, it's week 47, only a few more weeks for the year. And this week's kind of cool, the knives I carried this week. I had a couple of traveling knives at the same time, so I carried both of them. Something different to check out. But yeah, I guess go over the Swiss Army knives I carried. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I carried the Swiss Champ, and I like the Swiss Champ. I mean, if you're gonna have a Swiss Army knife, why not have the one that has almost every tool available on it? And this thing has a lot of different tools. You got the scissors, you got the inline Phillips head screwdriver, which is awesome. Magnifying glass, the scissors, you get a saw, you get a file, awesome file. You even get the fish cleaner with a inch scale and centimeter scale on the other side. There's that. I think that's obviously the main blade and a small blade, can opener, bottle opener, corkscrew on this guy with a mini screwdriver, and I have a stick pin, straight pin in the hole. This has a cool little chisel tool, which is pretty neat. It has a smaller flathead right here, parcel hook, which I have uses for, and then you get the nail breaking awl reamer with a sewing eye, so that's cool. And it has the plus scale, so you get your tweezers, toothpick, and a pressurized ballpoint pen, which comes in handy. I carry it on a suspension hook in my left hand front pocket, and it hangs in my pocket, and it's tight, but my phone does fit down next to it. It does fill my pocket up with this knife and my phone, but that's how I usually carry my Swiss Army knives. My left front pocket and a key dangler for the most part, and my phone rides next to it. But yeah, 3 days I carried the Swiss Champ, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which this is Sunday, I carried probably the opposite end of the spectrum here, the Bantam Victor AX Bantam 84 millimeter frame. This is a 91 millimeter, so it's shorter. It is thinner. You know, it's a one layer knife compared to what, 7 or 8 on the Swiss Champ. And I like the Bantam because it's smaller, it's thinner. You get a decent main blade right here. Makes a great little secondary blade for you. And the only other tool, you get the combo opener, which is a combination can opener, bottle opener, flathead screwdriver. That corner works as a Phillips head, works on Phillips head screws. You get your wire stripper notch. And of course, this one also has the tweezers. And it doesn't want to go back in all of a sudden. Why? There we go. So that clicks in there pretty decent. Then you get your toothpick and your split ring key ring right here. And yeah, I kind of went from one end of the spectrum with the Swiss Champ to the other end with the Bantam. But yeah, this carried pretty good. I don't have an extra suspension clip for it, so this I just dropped in my left front pocket. Actually, a couple of times I ended up in my right pocket with my flashlight. So in my right pocket, I had these two items, but most of the time, just out of habit, I'd put this in my left front pocket because that's where I carry my Swiss Army knives. So, get to my main folders. Some of these might not be a surprise to you because I'm in love with them, but the first one is the Clinch River Swayback from Rosecraft Blades. A fairly new knife to me. Pretty awesome knife. I just love the bone on this. The burgundy bone, orange color. And I even like how it's kind of really light here and some of the white showing through. And this side is really, really nice looking. These Rosecraft blades are so cool. The fit and finish on these are just spot on. There's nothing to dislike. Stainless steel frame, stainless steel back spacer, or back spring and liner. Very clean looking. Everything is just as flush as can be. All the pins, you can't feel them. This one has a Warncliffe blade with this awesome finger choil. It is a swayback design. Walk and talk is excellent. It's a little bit of larger knife. Very hand-filling. D2 steel. Designed by Andy Armstrong. Model is RCT005. Right there's the Rosecraft Blades logo. RCB Rosecraft Blades. Nice, super slicey little knife. Has this forward swedge on top. Makes that a pretty dainty tip. Comes to a nice point. Awesome knife. So I carried that Monday, and I carried it in this Rough Rider slip. Cost me like $4 maybe, and it fits in there fine. This is the large size of the slip, and yeah, that fits in there perfect. So Monday I carried that. Tuesday, because I did the lockback video, I had this knife out and I'm like, I gotta carry it. So I carried the Buck 110 Sport. This was a new model for 2022, and it was one of the knives I carried for my 30-day everyday carry to test out. Absolutely love this buck. I just love it. I want to get the 112 Sport really bad, but this has S30V steel for the blade with the Boss heat treat, and let me tell you, this blade is probably, the edge on this is probably the longest lasting edge of all my knives. I carried for that full 30 days, and it was almost just as sharp on the 30th day as it was on the first day. They do a remarkable job with their heat treat, especially the Boss heat treat. Everybody knows their 420 HC, shoots way above 420. It's pretty dang good, and they do a good job on S30V. Now this has aluminum bolsters and frame. Micarta handles, which is supposed to be green. It's always looked brown to me. Very lightweight. It's like, I can't remember, almost 3 ounces lighter than the standard 110 with the brass and wood. Comes with the thumb studs, oversized thumb studs, which I like. Really easy to use to open this up. You're not going to slip off these, but they do kind of get in the way of the cutting path. And when you sharpen this, they do get in the way. Not terribly, but it makes it a little more difficult to sharpen because they're so big. So it comes with thumb studs. It comes with a pocket clip, which is a nice looking pocket clip, especially for Buck. Buck has some goofy looking clips. This one's absolutely fine. Got the anvil right there with the B. The pocket clip sits on top of the bolster here, but the screws are flatheads. It works fine, works good. It's got good retention. This carries very well in the pocket. I do not mind carrying this in the pocket at all. At first it was a little thicker, and I noticed that, but you get used to that really fast. Absolutely dig this knife. Like I said, I want the 112 version of it, but blade is rock solid, no rock side to side or anything. Like, it's, you know, one hand open, but it is still, for me, a two-hand closing knife. And yeah, I carried this finally. I haven't carried it in a little bit. Carried that on Tuesday. So Wednesday, I carried one of the two traveling knives I had, and this one was started by CB Tactical, and it's a Victorinox. So again, it's a knife right up my alley. And this is a Hunter XT, and pretty cool knife. And it came in this cool leather nylon sheath that I need to buy one for my Forester. So before I pack this thing up, I need to write down the number on it, and the number on the sheath is stamped underneath the flap. This is 4.0547.3 right here. So I need to order one. But this is the Hunter XT, and this particular one is retired, discontinued. They have a new version of this that has orange and black handles, scales. The handle scales are 2 compound material. The green is kind of hard plastic. The black is more, it's a little bit softer, adds good grip to it. I actually got my hands wet and played with it, and yeah, it's grippier than like my Forester, which is all hard plastic. And this is geared towards hunters, and I think it's pretty cool. Has a cool main blade right here, plain edge, very slicey little blade here with a deployment hole, so it's one hand opening. It is a liner lock, reverse liner lock, I guess. It goes, you gotta press it to the right instead of the left to close it. And in the middle, you have a wood saw, nice wicked wood saw that's the same as on my Forester. Evidently, I'm sure it would work to cut through bone. I have no doubt, because this thing cuts through wood like it's butter. So you have that. And then the second blade on here is a wicked serrated blade, kind of hawkbill shape. This is the only serrated blade that I would tell anyone I like. When I carried this, I didn't use the main blade, the plain edge one, very much. This thing is awesome. It is so sharp, it cuts through cardboard, cuts paper. Let me get a card. This thing can actually cut paper, a serrated knife. Watch. That is so cool. And I don't have any natural fiber rope, but I have this nylon rope, and watch this. Hardly any pressure. Just drag it along, and it just cuts right through that. So I got kind of intrigued by the serrated blade on this, and I used it quite a bit, just playing around. I cut up a box with it. I've been cutting that rope. That rope's about 5 feet shorter than it was. Regular, like printer paper, it will cut this. I have some notes on it, but I never had a serrated blade that can cut paper that cleanly. In fact, I only have one knife that is partially serrated, and I don't carry it because I don't like it. I had a few other serrated bladed knives that I got rid of. And this one, I dig this one. And this is liner lock. It's lock and blade also. More normal style liner lock. You push it to the left, then you can close it. This blade, the way the liner lock is, I can close this one one-handed. The other one being reverse liner lock, you know, you gotta push it in the opposite direction. I can't close it one-handed. Here, the only back tool is a Phillips head screwdriver, and that would definitely come in handy. Now, I said this was retired. The new version is orange and black, and it has a corkscrew on the back instead of the screwdriver. Oh, and then you got this cool lanyard on here that John from JL Ventures Outdoors added. Very nicely done little lanyard with a skull bead. That's pretty cool. Nice job on the lanyard. Knots are even. The tails are even. They're tight. Better than I can do when I make one. But yeah, I carried this Wednesday and Thursday on my belt with a sheath. And then Friday, Saturday, I had another traveling knife. And this one is a Grandway, and it is from Ray over at North Star Knife Reviews. It's his knife. He sent it out as a traveling knife. It's making the rounds, and I really like this knife. This is right up my alley. It's kind of knife that I like. It is a lockback. It's wooden covers here, which is very cool looking wood. I done the video. I've recorded the video on this. This video here will be up before the video on this knife, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But very cool knife. It is made by Grandway, which is out of the I want to say UK, Ukraine. It's out of Ukraine, and it's 440C steel. Got a nice main blade right here. Like I said, it is a lockback and has a secondary blade, second blade, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure the purpose of this thing. Some theories is it's a hoof tool to clean out and trim horse hooves, and it has a cap lifter, and that is a slip joint. And what's cool about this, some people say it looks like a horse leg, which makes sense to me if this is a horse hoof tool. It does look like a horse leg. To me, it looks like a deer leg just because of the wood grain and coloring. It looks like a deer leg. I mean, the way it cuts in right there for the lock bar, back lock, really makes it look like a leg of a horse, a deer, a moose, whatever. But this was a pretty cool knife, and the knife doesn't come with it. This was with it, this cool leather belt sheath, which was made by John at JL Ventures Outdoors, who made the lanyard for the Victor AX. He made this for the Grandway, and this is awesome. Gotta show it. And he's got buffalo stamped on there, got barbed wire top and bottom. On the back, it's got the boot prints for the Traveling Knife Series. J.O. signed it. A couple more barbed wires right here. Nicely stitched. I like the belt loop. I like the dark brown. Very nice sheath. And yeah, I carried this for several days. I think actually I carried it part of Thursday also. I was carrying this, and then I started carrying this later in the evening. But very awesome. I dig this knife. Like I said, you'll see in the video I did on it, I don't have too much information other than Granway is out of Ukraine, and they make a lot of different knives, from gas station knives to cool knives like this. But yeah, I carried this part of Thursday, a little bit of Thursday, Friday and Saturday in this sheath, and yeah, I enjoyed that one. And finish up Sunday, which is actually today, I am carrying, to no one's surprise, the Rosecraft Blades Ocoee River Kayak. This thing has to be my favorite slip joint that I own. I absolutely dig this one. D2 steel, like the Swayback. They call this red apple bone for the covers. Again, stainless steel bolsters, back springs, liners. Cool blade they call the clip point, or the K clip. And I dig that blade shape. I really like it. I like how the blade drops down from the line of the handle. Really awesome utility cuts, draw cuts, comfortable in hand. Just absolutely dig this knife. And this more or less lives in another J.O. Ventures Outdoors slip. This is one he made for me, sent to me as a gift, and I was really just taken back by it. It's got a cool Southwestern Aztec looking bear right here. I dig the colorful stitching. That's a good touch. On the back, he's got the American flag, signed at J.O. Put this lanyard on there, and has this cool bead that's spots of it actually glow in the dark, and that was from Randy's WSG. And yeah, this is probably my favorite carry for the past month or so. Whenever I bought this, I carry this a lot, so this is no surprise to anyone that I carried that, or the Swayback. Both are awesome knives. I dig them. But yeah, I guess that'll do it. That is all the knives I carried for week number 47 of 2023. And I guess that'll do it for this video. The video on this knife is upcoming, probably, I want to say, around Tuesday or Wednesday. When I'm done with this video, I'm packing these up and getting them ready to ship out ASAP. So yeah, I guess that'll do it for this video. Do the usual, like, comment, subscribe, and until next video, bye.